Hello everybody and welcome back to Stellaris, where we are currently working on finishing up our fill-in down over here. We're making progress on it, but we're not quite there yet. Eola Prime is a world that is an industrial world and apparently needs housing. We also have 3 available jobs here. Okay, I think in that case, a city district does make sense here. We could use a building slot in order to build a Ministry of Production eventually. We would get one from the Planetary Capital upgrade. So that is understood. This will be sacrificing a potential industrial district here. We can switch that back later on once we have another building slot here, if we need to. So that seems fine for the moment. So this generator world here, it is possibly not a generator world. This is probably actually going to be an industrial world, but I just want to get the planetary administration upgrading for now. That'll be fine. Anything else needing to be worked on, that is a negative. Okay, so that looks good. We've got this colony ship going. We have 1 terraformation underway right now. Presumably we're working on colonizing this world? Yes. Okay, that looks good. We have an archaeological event pending, and we're also capped on our astral threads. We should do something about that.
Construction complete.
There we go. So we just finished up in Satatoni, and I believe, are we also colonizing here? Yes, we are. Perfect. So we've got this construction ship, which is only at 37%. We're going to move to Nazaxa, and we want to build a starbase there, because I want to get this colony going on Zanam as soon as possible. And then we're heading into Evol, and we're going to head down and grab all of this down here. So once we're done here, I want these guys to go into, like, Durelian or so. Approximately.
Research
about
complete.
Like that. Well, actually, we want to get this starbase done first. So we're going to definitely build the starbase, and we'll also build in the energy credits here. We'll probably build these on the way down as well. So there's a tile blocker clearance done. We could grab 0 distillation, which would be very good for us to start building up some 0. I would be delighted about that. An ancient battle, huh? Let's get in there. Cool. So that looks fine for the moment. We're entering orbit of Evol. Magnetic disruption.
Complete.
Okay. And we just finished up a construction somewhere. That is the Aeolid. Okay, so we're definitely going to build our mining stations here in Althard. And then we're going to head up and grab the minor artifacts in Tas Zebador on the way up to Muscat. That's a tomb world there. There's not a lot we can do about that. We could colonize these tomb worlds, but they would require a fair amount of assistance. They would not be very self-sufficient, that's for sure. I would like to get climate restoration as a technology. It hasn't popped up. I don't recall if there are any requirements for that, like ascension perks. I don't think so. Or like civics. I don't think so. I think it's just a technology. So for the moment, we'll just wait on that. We do need to get Evol building as soon as we can. Or would we rather come down through Sau? Actually, this would be better. We should move over to Sau here. That allows us to bypass one of these and get down here 1 construction faster. So that looks good to me. We're just going to head on over to Sau, and we don't have the influence right now anyway, so we might as well wait. No reason not to. We have an idle leader. That is fine. I'm not too concerned about that right now. Cool. Astral actions are available,
complete.
and that is going to be lateral artifacting. Okay, we'll pass on that for now. We definitely want to colonize this Gaia world. No doubt about that. I'm going to use Nimbulans for that, which will be fine. And then we'll head down to Kochab, build our mining relays there. And then we don't have living metal yet, right? Right. Okay. So from there, I want to go to Durelian. Cool. So that'll be fine for the moment. And we're just waiting right now on a couple of month ticks to get our influence up to grab Sau. And that will be delightful. Absolutely wonderful. Of course, Endearlang over here, it's going to take a bit to grab. That's absolutely understood. Cool.
Research
So
complete.
we've got these colony ships under development. That looks fine. Plasma thrusters, huh? Okay. So plasma thrusters are very good for us, of course. And we could unlock battleships if we really wanted to. Economically, is there a reason not to? We would be exceeding our naval cap, but is that a problem? I feel like not really. Let's go ahead and grab battleships. I'd like to get some of those online. We've got 6.5k alloys anyway, but what we should probably do is get an upgrade pass done here, upgrading our ion thrusters up to plasma thrusters. Now, I'm not expecting any other upgrades as of right now. Actually, we can upgrade to subspace sensors. Yeah, that should be good. So we've got level 1 autocannons, level 3 Guardian Point Defense. Yeah, that seems fine. Only level 3 railguns here still, which is sad. But we can definitely upgrade our thrusters and our sensors, which will be a very, very useful thing indeed. So we're going to do that for all of these. It should be a fairly small upgrade in terms of expense, but it should help us move around a lot faster, which at this point is a big, big deal. So we'll get that done. That is excellent. And this archaeological event is proceeding. But yeah, you can see here, we're upgrading these quite quickly.
New frontiers established.
That's really not too bad. So I just founded this colony. That, of course, means that we want to put in a gene clinic, which is up here. There we go. And a city district. We've got hazardous weather here. So energy credits from jobs is pretty good. But also society research and engineering research from jobs. We can kind of do both. In a weird sort of way. I'm going to leave that be for now, but there's definitely something we can do with that.
Ships
So let's get our
upgraded.
starbase building in Sao. That'll be wonderful. And we've already upgraded the tsunami fleet, so that is definitely going nice and quickly. Excellent. Let's check in on our worlds here. So this generator world requires some work. We need a job here, but also tile blocker clearances. So we're maxed out on our generation as far as that goes. And then we could put in an industrial district. And then we could also clear off the tile blocker here. So that looks good. This is an agri world here. Alien studies. Okay, so this is temporary because the enigmatic cache is here. So this is currently set up as an agri world. I think having this be a research world isn't a bad idea, though. So we can definitely put in an astral siphon and switch this over to being a tech world. There it is. Fantastic. And next up would be CU Prime. Now, this is an agri world. And that's absolutely the case. So I think upgrading our food processing center makes a lot of sense there. This is an agri world here, and it doesn't have to be. This is an auto-designated world. I think tech makes sense here. So let's make this be a tech world and put in an astral siphon. This is an industrial world here, and we've got low gravity and a celestial tear. Yeah, I think industrial makes a lot of sense here. We can't build a Ministry of Production yet because we need our planetary administration upgraded, but we can certainly put in an industrial district. So that will solve both of those problems, and that looks great. No issue there. And we're basically done with our upgrades now. That looks amazing. So we're interested in definitely boosting our naval capacity. That's definitely a thing that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm fairly concerned about our naval capacity right now because of how low our power projection is. I think exceeding it isn't a bad thing at this point. So both of these fleets are currently maxed in their fleet size. That's going to change a little bit here. It's going to go up by, what, 10? From taking battleships here? Yeah, this is going to be enough space to get one battleship. That's not ideal, but I guess it's fine. Okay, so what is this construction ship up here doing right now? So we're still building an Alphard? Okay. That seems fine for the moment, I guess.
Home.
We're going to be done up there fairly soon. We just got Sau finished up, so we're going to build our mining and research stations there. This construction ship is currently heading into, oh my, a Nemo world. Okay. So, what world is this? Holobrand Prime. We've already got physics research from technicians. Okay. And giving us max generator districts. So this would be probably physics research from technicians, society research from jobs. Do we want this to be a generator world, or do we want this to be a tech world? It could be, I could see arguments either way there. I think we'll decide that in the future, but that's definitely an interesting thing to do. So I'm going to move down to Tiamat once we're done in Sau here, because the ISS Bluefin here is going to be building in Dorelion. We do need to sell off some food, and that's fine. We have a lot of energy credits at this moment, and what do we want to put those energy credits into? That's an interesting question. We also have this colonizing, right? Yeah. Branch office has been shut down on Eureka Prime. That is definitely good. And one of our leaders leveled up. So this is a scientist here. I guess either of these would be fine. Neither of them are going to apply because they are not actually a counselor at this point. We did just finish terraforming Holobrae 4, though, and I would love to bring in some Nimbulans. Let's go. So that's going to be another colony ship heading out. We've got a lot of colony ships heading out at this moment, and we'll have more. No doubt about that. This is a Gaia world up over here, and we definitely want to grab that fairly soon. So we're going to be getting all of our colonies online shortly. I'm actually thinking about having these guys go here, and then these guys just go to Dorelion. I think that's the way the timing is going to work out here. Yeah, it definitely is. Okay, so that looks good for now. Now, let's check through our jobs real quick again. We've got this tech world here needing a job. Ah, the death of a great leader. Okay, we'll definitely do a grand parade. Sure. Okay, so next we could upgrade any of these buildings. I am going to upgrade the Cyto Revitalization Center because more pops are better. So that looks good. So we have a bunch of colony ships on the way out here. This is Vlur down over here, noted. We don't really have anything that we need to clear out at this moment. I mean, there's the Dimensional Horror out here, but we can't actually reach that. This would be the Zeritan Citizen Alliance's territory, so we're not interested in that for right now. Cool. So we're going to be done in Kochab here shortly. We're also going to be done in Sau here shortly, and that means we're going to be building in Dorelion. So, we're currently lacking 5 influence for that. We'll have that on the next month tick. That looks magnificent. So as soon as that month tick comes through, we are going to grab this.
Construction complete.
So right about now. There we go. And then we're going to head down to Tiamat down here. When credits pass hands, Numa smiles, I'm sure. What do you want? A skill 3 official? For 1,500. Honestly, what else are we going to spend this on? Okay. That feels kind of like slavery, but okay. We're not slavers. That's not one of our civics, so sure. An amoeba breeding program. Okay. We get a research option there. That seems fine. And we're just continuing to work on that astral rift. No problem whatsoever there. So there's not a lot that we're needing to do here. These guys stole another 200 energy credits. Honestly, I don't care that much. They can steal that if they want. It's fine. So we're going to grab Dorelion very soon, and then we need 4 additional locations to get all of these worlds, right? And then we'll need a 5th up here. At that point, things matter a little bit less on when we colonize, or rather, when we build star bases. A little bit less. We'd still rather that it happen sooner than later. That's for sure. We want to be able to utilize the resources, right? We're pretty decent economically right now, but we have a lot of development to do still. That's for sure. So the ISS Bluefin is going to be heading into Tiamat shortly. We are definitely going to be short on our influence.
Construction complete.
Even with only 2 working right now. So the ISS Bluefin here is going to build mining stations and then move into Izak.
Building a new home.
And that'll be fine. So colonization is beginning on some world. I'm not sure where exactly. We should probably turn these frontier sectors into regular sectors, which I'm going to go ahead and do right now. There's no reason not to. So we'll create some sectors here. And that's in Wankwort Prime. Yeah, that's all fine. Frontier down here. And then we cannot create this sector because sector capitals need to be at least 5 jumps apart. So we can't make these into sectors just yet. We'll see if we can eventually. Okay, one of our commanders leveled up, and you are in charge of the second shell breakers. So we would want you to be like Butcher or Aggressive. No, it would be Butcher. They still want their subjects to be able to join. We are going to vote no, because they'll be able to outvote us if they do that. So we basically have a veto right now, and we're using it. So that sounds good. So we can try to activate this dodecahedron. That sounds great. It's very difficult, and we'll see if it happens. So we're in Durelion right now, getting this mining station completed, and then we're heading into Izak. And the question is, do we want to get that first, or do we want to get Tiamat?
Complete.
I think the answer is we grab Izak, then a Freeri, then Tiamat, then Suitor, is the idea. And of course, we're going to be idling up here in Muscat as well. So influence is definitely our limiting factor right now, but that will slow down somewhat eventually. So these impassable mountains are clearing off, no problem. And this generator world, which... Is that really a generator world? No, this is a research world. So we need to have this be a tech world. That'll be fine. I want to put in an observatory. An astral siphon here is going to be necessary. We're going to want a storm attraction center and a storm summoning center. So all of that will be fine for the moment.
Blocker cleared.
Okay, so there's that tile blocker finishing up. How long on battleships? Tech. It would help if I go to the right tab. 37 months. Okay, tachyon sensors in 1 month. So that's certainly noted. And we can activate a relic. I don't know if we really want to. I mean, we could spawn more pops.
Construct.
I think there's no reason not to spawn pops. May as well.
Research complete.
So we have an astral action available, and I don't want to flash forge a hyper relay at this time. Yeah, there's not a lot of things that we can do. 0 uses remaining. We don't need to do a dimensional shift. Planar mastery is unlocked in theory. Yeah, so we don't need to do a lot of things here. We don't need to summon a dimensional fleet. Astral calibration would be okay, but flash forging a hyper relay would be pretty decent. If we were making hyper relays, which I'm not even planning to make any hyper relays at this time. So let's grab chemical plants for the time being. That seems okay. And we're working on Izak next, because I want to get this colony going as soon as possible. So we'll get that starbase building right now. That looks good. Really, having 3 construction ships is clearly too much. I'm going to disband this one. We just can't keep it up.
Spaceborne life.
So scum and villainy on Euchromia 3, that's fine. Well, not fine, but there's going to be a bunch of crime here. We can see that there's currently 95 crime from holdings. Okay, so it's these guys. Okay. So that's not great. That's a lot of crime coming through. So we should probably do something about that, and we're going to need to put in a precinct house. So that'll drop the crime somewhat, but we may also need to do a decision to get rid of this criminal underworld, or at least help the criminal underworld. We'll launch an anti-crime campaign here. And I don't think we actually have any enforcers right now, do we? Or maybe we do. Okay, 3 criminal jobs. That's noted. We do have 2 enforcers from our capital here, so that's fine. It's a war zone, and we are now at 90 crime. But we're going to get this precinct house done soon enough. So that seems fine for now-ish. Fine-ish. This starbase is going to be finished up shortly. A commercial pact. Oh, this would be so good. This would be so good. But we need the influence.
Construction
so
complete.
No. Okay, so Izak is now done. We're going to build the mining stations and then move down to a Freeri. And we also immediately want to start colonizing this world. So these guys will be fine. Excellent. That all looks great.
Research
and
complete.
the Aeolid 7 is, of course, idling in Muscat, and we need influence for that. So, our Nema world is continuing. We can study the Nema, or we can allow the use their fun. And the Moving Islands modifier would be removed. No.
Situation
gonna study
log
them.
updated.
Okay, so we need to do this. There we go. That'll take 6 months. Sounds good. Excellent. So, Izak is going to be finished up eventually. We're going to grab a Freery eventually. But Moscot is definitely the next thing we want to take. So, 0 is now available for us. That's excellent. More tile blockers. That's not bad. Yeah, they're going to go quick, so we can definitely get those finished up. I would love to be able to remove more tile blockers and continue to develop our worlds. So that sounds excellent.
Research complete.
Now, we did just
Council
finish up
agenda
an
ready.
unyielding tradition here, so that's fine. Defense Armies producing 0.5 unity and Defense Army health plus 25%. Sounds good. So chemical plants have been unlocked, and next up we could go for, like, colony development speed is a potential option. Sure, why not? Might as well. We're making a bunch of colonies right now, so we may as well get that over with.
Building a new
So that
home.
sounds good. I would love to build this starbase here, but of course we're about 6 months away from that, so that's understood. This archaeological dig has been finished, and that of course means that the ISSC here needs to do something. And I'm going to move it over to Sarpokis, and we're going to work on that archaeological dig. Looks good. So our council agenda is ready at this point. We can definitely launch that, and then we can go for... stability, I guess? Sure, why not? It'll be fine. Seems okay for the moment. We're currently full on minerals. We should sell off a few of those. There we go. We are going to be filling up on energy credits eventually, but we're going to need a lot of energy credits for what I have planned. So that is not a bad thing at all.
Complete.
Now you can see here, our influence gains have gone down, and this is because our empire population continues to go up, which means that our power projection as coverage of our population is going down. So that isn't great. We can start a Nema breeding program, or we can start mining them. We're going to breed them.
Updated.
So that'll be absolutely wonderful. We'll get that done in 2 months. Cool. We're going to be able to build this starbase on not this next month tick. It's actually a little more than I thought it was going to be, but that's fine. We have to decline that, of course. Cool. Let's check in on our jobs quick while we're waiting here. And we can expand
Special
the
project
archipelago.
complete.
Yes, do that. So, is that a special project or is that an event? Okay, so that's up in Holabrin. Let's see here. Do we need to issue a decision here? No. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so that's all fine for the moment. We do have a maximization of our minor artifacts, so we should probably sell to private collectors. The rest of this is on cooldown for right now. On Nymean Prime, we need a job and housing, and this is a forge world. So I think that an industrial district would simply solve that. That seems very simple.
Research complete.
Excellent. And I do want to get this starbase going in on Muscat immediately. So there's a tile blocker clearance. We can grab another one here, which I would be delighted to do. Let's go ahead and do that. Excellent. And of course, we're sitting in a free room at this point, and we would absolutely love to build the starbase here as well. Scum and Villainy on Nemean
New frontiers
600.
established.
Presumably this is also due to a branch office? Yes. Okay, well, we'll put in a precinct center here. And I will institute an anti-crime campaign. There we go. So that'll be something, anyway. And we do want to grab a Freery as soon as we can. We have a newly founded colony here, though, and let's put in gene clinics and a city district. That will be magnificent. And then we've got this tech world here. We lack housing at the moment, so a city district does seem to make sense. Cool. No other buildings needed there, but we do absolutely need a lot of influence. And we'll get that influence finished up soon enough. Okay, so what do the other layers have in store for us, indeed? We're definitely making very solid progress
Research
on getting
complete.
this all done. Ooh, a gravity storm down over here. Neat. We like it. So colony development has finished up our technology for that. We could grab jump drives, actually. And I think we should. Let's get going on that. Jump drive travel is very useful. So let's take that immediately. That sounds magnificent. Now, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. But before I do, I want to make sure that we have this world colonizing. That is of a very high priority indeed. And then we'll head over. Actually, we should head to Radar Central after we're done with that. Beautiful. But as I said, it is time to put a cut in here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we're going to continue filling in these gaps. We're getting very close to getting this done. We are definitely going to finish up all of these world colonizations next episode, so that would be magnificent. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Atala, Andy McGar, Ali Lee, Dark Horse, Xenocyte, Hiro Marutsu, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.